A small educational publisher
Uh-huh.
in the Netherlands. They broke off of a large one. So in the Netherlands, we have like three big educational publishers, and they own the market. And there's really no space in the market because
Mm.
all the schools just buy from them, and they buy methods for years. That they use them for 5 to 10 years. So it's really a closed market, and there's no space for newcomers.
Got it.
Yet this little company broke off of the larger one, and they decided to try anyway, because the CEO of this little company, she had a mission when she wanted to create educational methods that really spark the intrinsic interest of kids.
Mm.
And she felt the current methods were all really top down, written for the teachers to make their job as easy as possible by giving them full manuals, but not really with the children in mind, the students.
Yes.
And that was her vision. So that is a very co-creative vision, because what she wanted to do was involve kids and also teachers in creating new
Products. Mhm.
new products. So I was involved in their first endeavor. That was in 2011,
Mm.
and it was a method English for elementary school kids in the Netherlands. And all the schools already had a method English. So when we did research to find out if there was any need, there was zero need. There was no need. Yet they still went ahead, because we also talked to kids, and there was a huge need among kids.
Wow.
So, if you say our clients are schools, then there was zero need. But if you say our clients are the children who have to learn English, they all said those methods are so boring. They are just not interesting. We already know English. We know already more than the method teaches us. It starts way too low, because in Holland, the kids, they already know English because they listen to English music, they watch English programs. So the methods were all like 20 years old and just a little bit revised, and they were not matching the kids' needs at all.
Wow. That's
So
true.
we found that, when we talked to children, so there was no need for schools. There was a huge need for kids. So then we worked with the kids to come up with a new method, and it was based on music. So the kids came up with an entirely digital method that would change all the time, because music changes all the time.
That's true.
So there was just a few formats, like, okay, you enter a song, and then you have these questions about the song, the words, and
Right. You learn in the
yeah.
context. That's amazing
exactly.
idea. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there was no book. There were no books. Just a workbook that's really cheap to print, where the kids could write in, but no hardcover books. There was no. Normally, to develop a new method, it takes like 5 to 10 years, and it has to be really researched and whatever. And we didn't do that at all. We just wrote this with the kids and some teachers who saw how relevant this could be. And some experts to make sure that that there was no BS in there, that the children were actually learning English.
Right.
And then we did involve a university to track the results. The result was a very cheap method that schools actually bought. Large amounts of schools started buying this because it was so cheap, because it was all online. So it was way cheaper than those methods that took 10 years to develop and print, and all this money that went into development. And we developed this in 3 months with kids. So there was much less development money. It was really quick to bring to market, and it was very cheap for schools to buy. So almost every school in Holland bought this thing just for fun, to put next to the method they already had. Yeah. But then what happened in reality is that they abandoned the method they already had, because the kids loved this so much, and they learned English much better. And that was also scientifically proven by the university, who tracked the results, that the children learned English much faster and better this way. And they had much more fun, and the teachers had much more fun.
Wow.
So in the end, it was just, a huge success. And it also turned out to be a huge profit for the publisher, because they had a very little investment money. They invested very little. They did build an online platform, that then they could use for their other methods as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So then they grew, and they're now the fastest growing educational publisher in the Netherlands, which is also a danger, I would say, because once you become too large, you can't be a swarm anymore. If I refer back to swarm theory, the swarm in nature is never more than 50 units.
Right.
So once you have more than 50 employees, you may have to break into smaller units again. Otherwise, you create a hierarchy and a bureaucracy. But this organization is very flat. So the CEO,
Good.
the one who broke off, she is just very equal to the others, and there's almost no hierarchy. And then they work together with a fixed group of schools, and then a varying group of schools.
Nice.
That they develop their methods there. And everybody who's new there, because they're growing so fast,
Right.
they are assessed whether they're capable of working in a co-creative way.
Right.
And some aren't. So they found out that some personality profiles just don't match with working in a co-creative way. So
Wow.
then they don't allow them in. And the ones that do come in, they get a training. They receive a training. How to work co-creatively, and they have a team of co-creators that support these parallel co-creation processes.
Amazing.
So they're very successful, and of course the CEO is a woman.
Yeah, let's make the change happen.
But